My LinkedIn Lives. I'm Jasmine Navarro, certified wellbeing expert, working with educational institutions and companies, helping them support their family wellbeing. And as you know, every week I interview different experts who make a difference. And today I'm super excited to be interviewing Steve. Steve, thank you so much for joining.
It's a pleasure.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yes, love to. Yeah, well, for many years I've worked in the area of personal development. Always fascinated why people do the things they do or don't do the things they say they want to do. More to the
Oh,
point, and really worked as an empowerment teacher, coach, and hypnotherapist. But also worked in alongside that since about the age of 27 in radio, on and off in various radio stations. And about 5 years ago, my intention is to help make a positive difference to 1 million people's lives.
wow.
And doing talks and workshops was taking me a long time to reach that. So I wanted to do something on the radio, but all the radio stations I were involved in were mainly commercial ones, not really interested. So I had this vision, this dream, to launch my own. So 5 years ago, I launched a radio station called Yawa Radio, which stands for Your Wellbeing and Happiness Radio Station. We're online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, broadcasting, and also do podcasts as well from the radio team as well. So that's what I do. It's taken over my life. It's really good. And it's one of those things, Jasmine, when you have one of those moments and you have this intention to make this positive difference, and you realize it doesn't have to be you. You can bring people together. Yeah. So that's how it all evolved and developed. And here we are, 5 years on, going from strength to strength. So that's the day job really now.
It sounds amazing, and your radio station is absolutely amazing. So we'll definitely have to put the links in comments after that. So
yeah, please.
Yes, definitely. So you chose the power of intention. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Tell us what this means and why you chose this topic.
Well, it's really relative to certain things that happened to me in my life. Okay, and many people actually think you attract what you want. Okay, now by just that phrase, you attract what you want, implies that there's something lacking in your life. Okay, right? So you're focusing on lack rather than abundance. Okay, so you need to attract what you are by bringing some energy to yourself. Because if you've intention is all about what I call the head and heart connection. Okay, it's a big difference between setting a goal, right? We've all set a goal. We've all set a goal in our lives and never got on with it. Okay, because we've not felt it emotionally, and the intention brings that energy to it when you link the head and the heart. Okay, so by doing that, you raise your energy levels and you begin to attract things into your life that come your way because your energy is raised. Okay, and there's lots of scientific studies been done about when we raise that level of intention, our neuroplasticity, synapses engage in different ways and they form new neural pathways. And the classic example is if you're walking around as Mr. or Mrs. Grumpy, okay, what are you going to attract into your life? Because that's the energy you're putting out. Okay, and we've all been in situations when somebody will walk in the room and you can feel that energy. Something's not right here. You see what I mean? And yet somebody else can walk into a room with a different energy and just kind of lift that room. Okay. So by focusing your intention on something that, yes, you want to bring something into your life, but the energy level's got to be right to do it. And many people just focus on lack, and they're still driven by ego instead of just letting that ego go and letting things materialize. And they're what? Well, Wayne Dyer calls it striving but never arriving. Okay, so they're always striving for the next thing, and they never arrive. So that's what I mean by you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Okay. So just raise your energy levels a little bit, And a couple of examples from my life, really. When we were looking to move house,
Yes.
going back a few years ago now, and we put that intention out there because Anne and I both work in that personal development space.
How did you put the intention out there? I have to just
verbally.
verbally.
Verbally. We had a discussion. We wrote it down and drew it what we wanted.
Oh, did you? So it's quite a big.
Exactly. We just had a chat and we went, right, okay. So in terms of putting it out there, where would we like to live? What's the intention?
Okay.
Right. So we went, we would like to live in the countryside. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Anne said, I would like hills, to overlook some hills. I'd like a stream at the bottom of the garden. And
detail.
Yeah. And look at cows in the field. Okay?
Right.
So that was the intention. That's what we were going for. Okay.
And you felt it. We felt
it. There was emotional charge together, because we felt it individually, but felt it together.
Okay. Yeah.
But then it's out there. Okay. So then we put it out there, we let it go, we let life find its way for us. And I know to a lot of people that sounds absolutely tree hugging, right? Mind boggling.
I love it.
Yeah. And then what happened from that intention was we were driving through a village one day and we saw this for sale sign for a cottage.
No way.
I wonder what that is. And we'd driven past this cottage many times before, but never noticed it. And it'd been up for sale for a bit. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. We were then a couple of days later in York, because we live not far from York. And we're just having to browse down this road, and we pull up and outside an estate agent's window. And what is there? Straight smacking us in the face is the picture of this cottage. So we went, right. And now what happens when you put that intention out there? The universe slaps you in the face and gives you the options. It's telling you, it's giving you these messages, but we have to act upon those messages. So here we go. We've now seen it. We've now seen it in the shop window.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go and view. So we go and view. We walk in, and we're living there now, by the way, right? And we walked in. We're overlooking the hill. We're overlooking the hills.
Yeah.
There's cows in the field. Okay.
Wow.
There's a stream. It's not quite at the bottom of the garden. It's in the field over the road. But everything that we put out for that intention materialized, and it's there. Okay. So that's incredible. And people get, they talk about the law of attraction as well, and intention, everything like that. And people get, there's a great clue, Jasmine, in the word attraction, because people often say, oh, the guy once said to me, Steve, I've put it out there and nothing's happened.
Oh,
and I go, what are you doing then? What do you mean? I said, at the time, I had just sat there watching Jeremy Kyle on the telly, expecting something to just jump out, because there's a clue in the word attraction. The last 6 letters spell action. Okay. So you have to do something.
Right.
You have to do something when it starts to materialize and it smacks you across the face. There's the sign for sale. There's the thing in the estate agents. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm putting it there for you now. This is what you've asked for. Now do something.
But maybe the person you're talking about, maybe he didn't have any signs, or do you just think he didn't see them?
No, he didn't understand it. He wasn't. Yeah, you're right. He didn't see them because he wasn't prepared to see them. Okay. And he's probably, they're probably, in my world, they've probably smacked him across the face a couple of times, and he's not seen them, and he's not taken up on the action that they've given him. So then it goes, well, your intention's not strong enough. You're not really feeling it. So it stops.
Yes.
And I know it sounds gobbledygook and everything like that, but it's so true, So, that's an intention is the start of every dream. Let's be honest. You've got to have an intention, a vision, intention, and then start to materialize to make it happen.
And how long do you spend setting that intention? Because, you could just say, today, I don't know, like, how much time do you spend? Or is it just until you feel it? And when you feel it, I guess.
You feel it. You've got to feel it. that's like I say, it's like, I could use me an example again. Using the word goal, right? I'm going to set a goal to go out cycling this afternoon across the hills where I live. Well, I'm not really feeling it, right? I'm not engaging the head and the heart. It's a nice goal to have, and that's based on what we call false will. It's like New Year's Eve resolutions. They're based on false will, not true will, because they're not linked. You're not linking the head and the heart, and it's only when they're in sync and the energy levels rise, then you can start moving in that direction that takes you there.
I think that might be the challenge with some people, like, because sometimes, like, even with me, sometimes I have this intention and I'm like, how can I, sometimes, when you just have one of those days and you're just not feeling it, you're not believing it, and actually that's when you really need, so it's lacking, I guess, something to happen. But how, like, can you get out of that, when you're not feeling that great, and then you probably will attract not great things, and you get into that negative spiral.
There's a bit around that. There's a bit about, let's just talk about that, about the language we use when you're feeling that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just flip that language and how we're talking to ourselves with our self-talk, right? Because that affects, again, the energy levels. And a couple of simple examples that a great friend of mine shared with me many moons ago, Michael Heppel. Seen one of his books. I don't know whether it's How to Be Brilliant or another book. I can't remember what it is. But he talks about a couple of things and just simple examples. So let's assume we sat there and we're doing a task and we go, oh, I'm bored. Okay. What message does that send to our bodies and how we feel? It just takes us into another downward spiral. Okay.
Yes.
But without lying to ourselves and telling ourselves our untruth, how can we flip that language to make us feel better and give us some energy? So how about flipping it to something like, how can I make this more interesting?
I love that. Powerful questions. Yeah. I love.
So how can I make that more interesting? And by saying that, okay, it starts to lift.
Yes, you're in control. You can do something about it as well.
Yeah. Another one where people go, oh, I'm so tired. And you may be tired. That's okay, right? But what about if you flip that and said, wow, I could do with a bit more energy today? And it's just changing that self-talk. But the key bit really is, and a lot of people don't, they don't let go of the ego, okay? They focus very much on who they are, what they have, what they do, what materialistic things have gone. And really what we're saying around that is, when you put the intention out for things, just let that go. Let the universe handle things.
Oh, yes. Yes. I love that.
Yeah. Let the universe handle things and let those opportunities come your way.
Yeah. So you have to trust, don't you? Because you have the intention, and then you believe and you trust, and that helps you let go. Because if you're holding on to it, you're not really trusting it, are you?
No. If you're letting go of those, you think, well, you've still got those doubts. Well, I don't think it'll really happen, or why me?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not going to happen. Where am I going to find a house like that? Or whatever. You've still got that doubt in your mind. And, once you let go of that, then things start to materialize and things start to develop. It's like when I was putting the idea for the radio station, Jasmine, there's another thing, right? I had this idea for the radio station probably maybe 10 years ago.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't believe in myself. I didn't have the right intention to make it happen. And that could have been, because the universe will give you these things whether the timing's right as well. Okay. So you could, at that time, then I decided to progress it. But then you've got to say to yourself, okay, so that's my intention. I'm really feeling it now. What steps do I have to do to make that happen? What skill maybe do I need to use? Now, I'd always been, as a broadcaster, what I call this side of the microphone.
Yes.
I'd never really done much of the technical side behind. So what did I do from that intention? Right? It's just how, again, it happened. So the radio station I was working on one day, and somebody who normally does the scheduling was unable to do it.
No
So
way.
the program controller said, Steve, would you mind having a go at doing the scheduling? Wow.
Oh my God.
Here's an opportunity, right? So
Yeah.
you get into that, and then your things develop, and through that, things moved. The skills that you needed to do stuff behind the scenes happened. I met people, because when I put the intention out there was only me,
Yeah.
right? There's only me. I put the
Yeah.
intention out there. 9 years ago, I interviewed a guy called Steve Gamblin in America, who's a motivational firewood guy, does vision board mastering.
Yeah.
I'd interviewed him for a podcast all that time ago. And I was thinking about a team, and I went, Steve, you should present a soft rock show in the States. Let's get in touch. So I contacted Steve. He became the first presenter. Then I was networking here in the UK, sharing my idea, and I met lots of coaches and therapists who wanted to get involved.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, these people were, in the nicest possible way, coming out of the woodwork.
No way. But when you say you set the intention, how do you set the intention? Because sometimes I get confused. Like, do you believe that you already have it? Like, some people say you have to.
It's already happening. It's already happening, right? In my mind, okay,
yes.
and I'd got this visualization of this, right, and I'd even mapped it out on a bit of paper again.
Yeah.
About this online radio station.
Yes.
Well-being, personal development.
Yeah.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wow. How the hell am I going to fill that? Right. As I'm putting this down. Right.
Yeah.
So that's all mapped. Sorry.
We never worry about how. Yeah.
No, don't worry about how. That's the intention to do that. So it's all mapped out. And I actually sat down. In fact, I've got the book somewhere.
Yeah.
I went to meet somebody who I knew in the radio world just to share my idea with him. And in the book, I'd got outline for the radio station. I'd got outlines then for the Yower Radio global community, like a networking thing. I'd got the Yower Radio podcast. So I'd got all these things, like a spiral diagram.
Yeah.
I'd got all these things spinning off.
Okay. So you spent a bit of time. How long did you spend on that?
Oh, it took me it was only about a day and a half, really, just because once it's so embedded with you, it just flows. When you're in the flow.
Yes, definitely. And once it's right, that's when you know it's right as well.
Yeah. So away you go, and on off you go. And so that was out there. And then things developed. People came on board. They're still coming on board to this day. People are still emailing me, and come back to what you were just saying earlier. Excuse me. Where will it end? Where will it go? I've no idea. Okay. It'll just keep happening. Okay. I'm not sat here. I don't sit here that go, oh, in a year's time, I want it to be this,
Oh, really?
No. It's the thing now is taking a shape and it's evolving.
I love that.
It's developing. Even when we're talking to the team about stuff and they kick ideas around, I have very much a can-do attitude and I go, let's do it then.
And even at the beginning, was it like that? Or did you have to plan a bit more at the beginning? Or has it always been sort of organically?
It's always been organic, and then like people I used to meet and they'd say, well, I love the idea, but I've never presented a radio show in my life. And I go, don't worry. Well, what do you mean? We can train you. We'll find a way. If you've got the same feeling that we've got or I've got for it, we can work together. Okay.
I love that. Yeah.
If you're only interested in coming to present a radio show from an ego perspective, not interested.
Yeah.
If you're interested in helping others, and by that terms, you will help yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Build your brand individually as well, then we can work together. And that's how it's all. And I've had people in the past come to me who want to be on, but they just want to be on because it's their ego. They see it as about them, as about making a difference in somebody's lives.
Yeah.
So it's always been like that, Jasmine, and it just continues to evolve, you know.
It sounds amazing, but this intention thing, like, do you? Oh no, that's what I wanted to ask. Well, there's so many things I wanted to ask you, but you know, like we were saying about letting go, like having the intention, being clear. I guess you need to be clear as well, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. Clarity,
And then
get clarity with it.
yeah. So for example, a sentence like when you wanted the radio station, what did you like? Did you say anything? Did you say I have a radio station?
No, my intention is to launch a radio station 24 hours a day, 7 days a week around personal development and well-being.
Oh, all of that. Okay.
All of
Okay.
that is
So it's
my
quite
intention.
detailed.
Yeah.
And then you felt it.
Yeah, because
You said it out loud.
and it's out loud. That's my intention. That's what
Yeah.
I'd like to do. So then by doing that, then after that, that's when I started scribbling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where did those, where did all those ideas, were they my ideas or were they coming from somewhere else?
Wow.
Was I just, here you go, this is what you've put out there. We're now going to help you with that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What
I love that.
What bit is missing in there? The missing bit is you need to develop this technical bit. Okay. Or you need to develop this skill, or you need to do this.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. And then through, like I said, things happening. Steve, can you do the scheduling this week? What? I've never done it before in my life.
You knew that was, because you're aware, you knew that was part of the bigger plan. Where some people might have been like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah. This has happened for a reason. My God, I'm not asked, I've not gone in and can I do the scheduling this week? No. So-and-so's unable to do it. Can you step in, Steve?
That's a good point. But do you think sometimes we do have to ask for things?
Yeah, sometimes you can ask. Yeah. And you might ask and somebody might be there able to help you because that's the opportunity that's been given. They don't see you as a threat, and you might ask, can I do the scheduling this week? Could I do this? Could I do that? Sometimes we have to ask.
Okay.
In a lot of occasions, Jasmine, we have to step out what I call the comfort zone.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to step out of that.
Yeah. What about the forcing though? Because sometimes, like I know I have in the past, like I'm much better at it now, but sometimes I like push. But I've realized now that that sort of never works, because if it's not meant to happen, it's just not meant to happen. You can push it all you like, but it's just not you. Like, but sometimes I find it hard because before I'm so used to pushing and working hard in that way, so it became maybe that's my comfort zone. But actually, for me, it's like letting go is actually what brings things. But it's hard,
No, it is hard because within the normal things that we've gone through, probably you've been in, I've been in the corporate world. It's all about targets. It's all about this, and this,
Yeah.
And when I used to work in the corporate world, I used to be involved in sales and marketing and ran a sales team in a food company. And it's interesting you say that. I had one of our sales guys who was there's a difference between persistence and driving people mad. Okay. And he was always on the phone to customers trying to force a decision. Okay. And I had to have a conversation with him because what he's forgetting things, we all, what's important to you at a certain time may not be important to the person that you're talking to at that time. Okay. So just let that go. And I used to pray, whenever the timing is right, things will happen.
Oh, okay? Wow. Yeah.
Well, they'll either happen or they won't happen, depending on what the decision is. But when the timing is right, something will happen. It'll either be a yes or a no.
You'll find out. Yeah.
You'll find out. Okay. But there's no need to force it, because when you're just starting to drive people away. Okay. And that's coming, all that came from his perspective, from his ego perspective of, I am a top salesman. He was identifying with his position instead of realizing who he was as an individual. And once we got him to chill and relax, okay, he could still make the calls, but more in a more relaxed way and not so often. Doors began to open for him.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
And
Because you need courage to let go. Sorry, you need courage to let go, don't you? As well.
You do, and there's a great thing in there, a thing called the Sedona method, and this is how easy it is to let go. Okay, I'll just demonstrate this, right?
Yeah, please do.
If anybody's listening, right? If you say you're feeling anger or frustration, okay, so imagine this pen in my hand is anger and frustration.
Okay.
Right, and I'm gripping it really hard because I'm so angry and frustration. Right.
Yeah.
In fact, it should be that way, right? Anger and frustration. Right.
Yeah.
If I just go like that and open my hand and drop the pen and let it go, that's how easy it is.
Oh my God.
And that's the thing called the Sedona method that they teach it. Yeah. And you can, while you're carrying that anger and frustration around with you, that intention that you're putting out there, it ain't going to materialize until you let go of that anger, that frustration, or anything else that you're hanging on to.
Because it's a blocker, isn't it?
A blocker.
It blocks.
It's a blocker. And also the other thing, again, around all this thing as well, is to become the observer. So become the observer of how you are feeling.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And many people don't. They don't listen to their body and things like that. So, take some time out, clear the mind. The intention that you're putting out there to manifest, if your head is full of all sorts going on, okay, you've got to clear your mind.
You're right.
You've got to go and take a break, walk away, go and do a bit of mindfulness, 10-minute meditation. Okay.
Yeah.
And the classic again around this, when I was putting the station together, and it was 24 hours, 7 days a week, many stations here in the UK broadcast back-to-back music through the night. Okay?
Right.
And that's what I was going to do. And then I just went for a bike ride, enjoying the bike ride on the hills. And this is so true. What happened? I got this message saying, "Well, you stupid person, why are you doing that?" Listeners in Australia don't want to listen to back-to-back music through the night. Midnight in Australia, okay? It's 10 a.m. in Australia is like midnight over here.
Yeah.
Right? So why waste that time, and why not repeat some of the shows so people in different time zones can hear?
Amazing. Wow. That's, yeah.
And that came to me because I'd gone out, I cleared my mind, I was enjoying a bike ride. I was just enjoying the scenery. And honestly, it was, "Well, you stupid person, why are you doing that?"
It's amazing when we do take that time out and just go for a walk. I don't know, we relax, or we just let our body speak to us, or our mind, don't we? We allow it to speak. That's the thing. When we're so busy, you can't hear. It's so important to do that, Steve, actually. That's one of the most important things, I think.
And you know what? There's a great thing from Ben Fogel. It's in his book about when he climbed Everest. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll paraphrase it. He says something like, "You don't have to be like me and climb Everest. All you need to do is climb your own Everest." And when you're out and about, always remember to do one thing: look up, because many people don't. Because they're buried in their phone, they're buried in whatever, and they're looking down at their feet. So just look up, and just open yourself to what's out there, and just let things come into your life.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah. I love it, Steve. That's the perfect way to end this. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I could talk all day, Steve, to be honest. But before we go, is there anything else you want to say about that? And how can people find you?
No, I think we've covered a fair bit around that. I just wish everybody well. If they put that intention out there, if they want any help, I'm quite happy to have a discussion with them. You can find me in two ways. My website is steve@stevetwynham.co.uk. You can find me on there. And if you want some inspiration, join us on the radio as well. Have a listen to what's going on in there, because all our programs are around, well, not all, but vast majority around personal development and well-being.
Brilliant.
And we share some great thoughts on there as well. So
there's something for everybody, for sure.
Sure.
No, thank you so much. Can you put on the LinkedIn post, can you put all of your links in to the radio, to your website and all of that, so people can just click on it? Amazing.
Yep,
amazing.
Certainly will.
Thank you so much, Steve. And thank you everybody for joining. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the thread, or you can message either of us directly. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you.
See everybody next week.
Okay.